All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Carry now for Kareem Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. As he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Ready, green 90, green 90. Ace, ace. Ace, ace.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And nearly an interception.
Man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Watson hands this to Foreman. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Here's Foreman. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surf.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the 1st quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Now Watson. He shakes it off. Escaping the pressure right. And the pressure gets to him again. Anthony Hitchens in there to drop him. And back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. The Texans send the punter out. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. This is fielded at the 27. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
He ain't going nowhere. Oh, he ain't going nowhere. Ace! Ace! There we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. First catch on that one for Kelsey, and it's a 1st down. Quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Mahomes throwing on second down. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a first down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. And this is caught by Watkins. Touchdown, Kansas City. Sammy Watkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first quarter lead. Extra point safely through. And it's now a 7-0 game. Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Come back, come back. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Watson on first down. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Reset, reset, reset.
Now Foreman, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Reset, reset, reset.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. C.J. Anderson of the game. He gets it here. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Hunt. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side. Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Here's Hunt. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Come back, come back.
On 3rd down, Watson. He's got the completion to Strong. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check. 53 flight.
They'll run with Foreman. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Back to throw, Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Mahomes to throw on second down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Mahomes now on first down. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He'll go screen here to Hunt. 12 more yards there and another first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Now it's Mahomes again. And his throw is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Tiger. Richmond.
Now a first down throw. Watson looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be marked down all the way inside the KC 10. So we've reached halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A carry for Foreman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And the ball is knocked out. Or call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's third and 10. Watson now to throw on third down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Hassan Reddick in there to sack him. And that is 10 for him now on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back for a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They go play action here on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Dante Pettis hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll try to fire up the running game with C.J. Anderson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Left, 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 left.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail.
Mahomes going to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up the touchdown their last time out. For the last one, man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Colquitt on the kick as he sends it away. And now out comes Houston. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now they try the right side here. He finds an opening past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. play fake, and it's Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now it's Hunt. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run again with Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. That's pulled in at the 32. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. A check of the scoreboard there in the 3rd and Baltimore. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 34. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. That's Njoku over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. A beautiful fake. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Watson now on second down. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. On 1st and 10, Watson. Heavy rush, and down he goes. D. Ford in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Come back.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 3rd and long. It's Watson. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And Elliott puts this one through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score a touchdown and seal this thing?
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
There we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And this one is incomplete. The tight end Kelsey was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Now Hunt. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now, after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
Ace, ace.
On 1st down, Mahomes. He's got the hook up with Conley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And they're going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes...
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. D. Ford in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability.
Well, he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now it's Watson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably shouldn't have been picked, huh?
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Second down, here's Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Duke Dawson picks it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Come back, come back.
To throw on second is Watson. His throw incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's third down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9.
We got 3, fellas. We got 2 jet. 2 jet. He's checking crash.
On the toss, here's Foreman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's Hill, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. It was Duke Dawson on the tackle, the 2nd-round pick in 2018.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They run again with Hunt. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt, and he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
A beautiful spin and room to run. The 40, the 20, 10, and he's going to take it all the way into the end zone. What a return, and they've taken the lead. They had just lost the lead. That deficit sure didn't take long to erase. They return the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown.
Love the thunderbolt that just came out of that one that puts them in the end zone and back in the lead. Your only question, Your defense just gave up a score that put you behind. Well, that score you just added on the board will energize them, or do they have to go back out there and they're a tired unit? We'll soon see.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Elsewhere, fourth quarter score now for Baltimore. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And they'll run it here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, it's Foreman, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great
Sammy Watkins, he's going to go. 30, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Sammy Watkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Butker now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute it.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Richmond! Come back!
Back to throw. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Deontay Foreman, the intended target, out of the backfield. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Richmond! Come back! Tiger!
They'll look to throw. Open man is QT, complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Tiger!
Watson now to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Justin Houston in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Now it's Watson. Open man's pass. It's complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Watson. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Tiger! Come back!
Watson. And this This is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. David Njoku was the intended receiver, and it's third down. One last throw here for Watson. This pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Chiefs, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.